Welcome, Scorpio, to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 29th of January for the Sun or the Ascendant. Over the last 5 years or so, as Uranus has moved through your sector of relating, there's probably been some incredibly electric connections to certain people or persons. But sometimes those connections may have been quite quick, but not necessarily long-lasting. Or perhaps there's been turbulence, ups and downs in existing relationships. And of course, Uranus was retrograde from the end of August until last week. So you're coming into clear air this week. And Uranus also forges an amazing link to your ruler, Mars, your traditional ruler, on Monday, which is exact. But they're still in touch with each other all this week. Do not underestimate how much conviction you can show. If you need to tell someone how you feel, or that you need to compete with someone, or you need to demonstrate to colleagues that you're up for the cut and thrust of interacting with the public or your rivals, you're certainly going to have a real bright edge and can be on top form from that aspect alone. But that's quite potentially brusque because Mars is very passionate in the third house. Seventh house Uranus, it can be quite outspoken. But you also have Jupiter, the planet of greater fortune, higher fortune, in your seventh house, connecting to the svelte energies of Venus, like Mars and Mercury, in your third house of everyday conversations. And they're linking perfectly on Monday too. I feel that a conversation you have at the start of this week could seal the deal on something in an extremely positive way for you, which is really exciting. But also, because the Sun and your modern ruler Pluto have moved into your fourth house, there is starting to shape a narrative about where you live, how you live, and who with, that could see some massive changes between now and the first week of September, but over the years to come. And in total through to obviously 2044 with Pluto. But Mercury, the planet of communication, starts to inch towards Mercury towards the end of this week. And there can be some very sharp conversations, not necessarily in an unpleasant way, but your observational skills and the way that you frame your ideas can be absolutely superb towards the end of this week. But early next week, Mercury joins up with the Sun and Pluto in your fourth house, bringing in that narrative more. So this is an interlude week, which is still putting a lot of emphasis on the sign of Capricorn and, of course, the Earth sign of Taurus with Uranus and Jupiter. But also, there is the influence of Neptune. Now, Neptune has been a bit malefic in the last 5 or 6 weeks, and that's created some confusion or some uncertainties, distortions. But actually this week can be a real ace. Your natural sensitivity, you're a water sign, to what's going on is something you should listen carefully to. Now there is a quarter moon on Friday in your sign. It's a bit of a challenge, to be honest, because the first fourth house quarter moon can see us tempted to do something more impulsively, the moon in our own sign, that isn't necessarily good for us in terms of our own emotional situation, the Sun in the fourth house. So just be aware of that. However, Venus in your sector of everyday communication forges a brilliant link to Black Moon Lilith on Saturday. If you're single, there could be someone in your circle who is well aware of your energy, but also it's to do with the kind of vibe around you. The more I sort of learned about relationships, of course, the different values we have, if we have meeting values, that's really important. But we can actually start talking to someone that we completely agree with on lots of different levels, but we don't necessarily feel comfortable with them. And that's the energetic exchange. But I feel on Saturday, your ability to tune into what would be really good for you, whether it is just in conversation or someone you might fancy, is really going to be strengthened. Then as the week draws to a close, it's Mars' turn to link to Neptune. And again, it's a kind of mixture of articulation, the third house energy with Mercury Venus and Mars link into Neptune, much more silky and swirling and much more ephemeral. But something can feed into your thinking, third house, and what you say, and your sensory transfer can be so good. Oh, what a week. It's really, really powerful week for you. One to really embrace, enjoy, have conversations, engage with people. It can be really, really exciting, Scorpio. If you would like to understand the power of personal astrology in your life, if you give me 3 pieces of birth data, of time, date and place, or date and place if you don't know your time, I can produce for you your life roadmap report. This gives you searing insights into the patterns that are played out in your life so far. You also get your 12-month forecast, your transit forecast, within my special package of 30% off, and your free Zodiac, Love, Chinese and Indian booklets for the year ahead for all signs. Please see the link below for more. If you've yet to watch your deep dive year 2024 Zodiac video, please see the link beneath this video.